Good morning, everyone. It's Robert from On My Turntable. Hope you're having a great morning this morning. It is Friday morning, as always, a coffee kind of morning. Hope everyone's doing well. My last video, I showed you this great box set, Van Halen 2, featuring the 4 albums of the Sammy Hagar era of the band and the studio rarities, as well as the David Lee Roth era, the 6 studio albums with David Lee Roth. There would be a later one that I'll talk about in a moment. But I thought, just for fun, I'd rank the 12 studio albums that Van Halen has. Now, I have 10 out of the 12 releases. I don't have all 10 albums, but I'll try and show pictures of the albums that I don't have. So for time, I'm not going to ramble on a lot. Let's get started. So at number 12, I don't have this one, but it's Van Halen 3. Released in 1998, a later released album. The 11th studio album by the band, released after Balance, 1995's Balance. And the only one to feature Extreme's Gary Cherone on lead vocals, and the last to feature Michael Anthony. He was reduced to 3 tracks, and Eddie played the rest. So he was pretty much pushed out of the band at this time. The album was panned by the critics. It's too long. They criticize Eddie's vocals on one of the tracks on the album, How Many I Say I. I don't find it a bad album. I find it kind of goes back to their first couple of albums. Gary Cherone's got a pretty decent voice, but it's a way too long album, and the songs are kind of all over the place. But starts off with a cool instrumental, New World, and love the drums on Without You, which is kind of cool. And What I Want Isn't a Bad track. I don't like From After at all. Dirty Water Dog's pretty cool. Fire in the Hole, great rockin' track. Ballad or Bullet is all over the place, but it's probably my favorite track on the album. And again, as I said earlier, How Many Say I is terrible. Just terrible. But it's way too long. Could have shortened a couple of tracks, got rid of that How Many Say I. And but at the moment it's number 12 for me. And again, when I ranking these albums, doesn't mean I don't like any of these albums. I just have to put them in a certain spot. So at number 11, getting into the Sammy era, this is Balance, their 10th studio album. 1995 release, the last to feature Sammy Hagar, and the last that Michael Anthony played on the full album. Again, they were just pushing him out. I don't know why. He's an amazing backup singer. He's got a great voice, amazing bassist. I don't know why there was issues going on, and they still talk down about him today. It's weird. But the chemistry is gone in the band, and even though there's a couple of great tracks on this one, they're just a lot of okay tracks. It did reach triple platinum, though, and 7 Seal was nominated for a Grammy. I love the 7 Seal. Don't Tell Me What Love Can Do. Amsterdam, Not Enough. Not bad tracks at all. But overall, not the greatest album. Number 11. At number 10... another Sammy one, For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. Okay, 1991 release, the 9th studio album. Pretty good straight ahead rockin' album, great drumming, guitar driven album. Still hit number 1, and 7 of the 11 tracks were singles, which is pretty remarkable. You got singles like Pound Cake, Top of the World, Right Now. But it's a decent album. It's got the same formula, though. Nothing really outstanding on it. Maybe too much guitar, which is weird for a Van Halen album. But you got Pound Cake, Judgment Day, Spanked, Run Around, Pleasure Dome, In and Out, Man on a Mission, The Dream Is Over, Right Now, 316, and Top of the World. So that's number 10. At number 9, I don't have this one, but it's a comeback in a certain way, a kind of way. It's different kind of truth. 2012 comeback featuring David Lee Roth back in the band, and kind of refreshing. Kind of refreshing after 30 years away, which is sounds weird, but after 30 years not being in the band, he's still got that swagger going on. It's not a bad album at all. Guitar driven. Cool to hear David back again. Same old chemistry that the band had. But I like Tattoo, the opening track. Hard Drive in Chinatown. Bullethead is in your face. Again, the album kind of reminds me of their first couple of albums, which is not a bad thing. But I don't have that one. I'll try and find a picture of that one too. And the funny thing, I had to listen to on YouTube. It wasn't on Spotify, which is weird. I don't know why. At number 8, OU 812. That wasn't a coincidence. It just happened that way. Great, diverse album for sure. 8th studio album, the second to feature Sammy on vocals, and number 1 album again. 4 singles released: Black and Blue, When It's Love, Finish What You Started, Feel So Good. Sammy's vocals are top notch. The band is tight. I just wish the bass was pushed up a little more, but that's number 8, OU 812. At number 7, we're getting into the we're getting into the David era here, and we've got Diver Down. Okay, Diver Down, the 5th studio album by the band. 2 great covers: Oh Pretty Woman, Dancing in the Streets. These guys were big on covers for sure in their first few studio albums. Love the opener, and When Have All the Good Times Gone. You got Hang 'Em High, Cathedral, Secrets, Intruder, Oh Pretty Woman, Dancing in the Streets, Little Guitars intro, Little Guitars, Big Bad Bill, kind of a funky, weird track. Big Bad Bill, Sweet William Now, The Full Bug, Happy Trails. They could drop Happy Trails off that one for sure. I don't know, Dave liked to do all those kind of little ditties, but that's at number 7, Diver Down. At number 6, you've got 5150. Okay, the first to feature Sammy on vocals, and the 7th released in 1986. Another number 1 hit. 4 huge singles: Why Can't This Be Love, Dreams, Love Walks In, Best of Both Worlds. The band is tight, feels revitalized. It's a great, great album. Number 6, 5150. Hope I'm not rushing through this too much. I'm just trying to save some time. At number 5, we're getting into the top 5 here. We got Van Halen 2. Kind of the same formula as Van Halen 1, just slightly a little different. Hard to follow up on the debut album for sure. Number 2 comes pretty close though. But again, as I said earlier, it used the same formula, so it doesn't do anything special. Great party atmosphere on this album. Sold over 6 million copies, probably from the heels of the first album. You got Dance the Night Away, Beautiful Girls, Someone Get Me a Doctor, and what else is on here? Just heavy. Light Up the Sky is a heavy rocker. Definitely a top 5 album for sure. Definitely top 5 album. At number 4, one of my favorites. And I love the cover as well. Women and Children First. I love that cover. 3rd studio album, 1980 release. It's a heavier album than number 1 and 2. Big hit, And the Cradle Will Rock. Listed at number 30 of the 100 greatest rock albums of all time. Everybody Wants Some. Fools is awesome. Romeo Delight, Heavy in Your Face. I love the bass on that one. The groovy Take Your Whiskey Home. It's really cool. I really like In a Simple Rhyme. I really like that song. It's a great way to end the album. So Women and Children First. That's at number 4. At number 3, we have Fair Warning. Okay. The 4th studio album. For some reason, it wasn't a biggest selling album. For some reason, I don't know why. Despite had great reviews, but it didn't sell all that well. You got 4 singles. So this is Love Unchained, Mean Street, Hear About It Later. It's a darker album for sure. No party tunes on this one, but heavy guitar-driven album. Mean Street is definitely a favorite of mine. I love Dirty Movies. Unchained is classic, 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 classic. The funky Push Comes to Shove. I love this album. I think it's, this could be number 1, number 2 at any time. But something's got to give and be at number 2, which is 1984. Released in 1984. Their 6th studio album. The last to feature David Lee Roth as he would go on to pursue a solo career. 4 huge singles. Huge singles. Jump, I'll Wait, Panama, Hot for Teacher. Probably the most commercially successful album. From that opening 1984 synthesized track to Jump to Panama to Top Jimmy. Every track on here is number 1 track in my opinion. It's a great album. Could be number 1 on any given day. But at number 1, this classic, probably one of the greatest debuts of all time, Van Halen 1. Gotta love that album. 1978 release, introducing the God King Eddie, yeah, kind of right in a great spot because it was disco was going on, so they brought in this hard rocking album, and it just blew everyone out of the water. Yeah, just is awesome. You Really Got Me, Running with the Devil, Jamie's Crying, On Fire, ain't talking about love. Eruption, which introduced Eddie to the world. I love this album. It's just fantastic stuff. So just to recap, at number 12, Van Halen 3. Or sorry, I've got to go back to my notes here. At Van Halen 3 at number 12. At number 11, Balance. At number 10, For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. At number 9, A Different Kind of Truth. At number 8, OU812. At number 7, Diver Down. At number 6, 5150. At number 6. At number 5, Van Halen 2. At number 4, Women and Children First. At number 3, Fair Warning. At number 2, 1984. And at number 1, Van Halen 1. So there you have it, guys. There's my ranking of the 12 studio albums of Van Halen. Let me know in the comments what you think of your best-selling albums or greatest albums from the Van Halen era. And tell me what you think. Love you all, guys. Take care. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye now.